different leagues that have been right there, including, of course, the timing and the moments that have probably have come through. We did see a lot of things. I was in one of the parts of West Nile, and I did watch a few games that went on in there. You would see that there's a lot that needs to be done. Let me start with the regional league games that probably went on. Now, on Saturday, a very interesting game that came through between the team of Arua Airfield and Arua City Football Club. The City still keep on with the struggle because they are really not doing to the expectation. They are not even way near to the level that someone would say maybe the qualifications are very, very possible. But Arua Airfield started on a sad note, I should say. Losing their first two games was not a good one. Home and away, still they had to readjust and look into that we need to get to the winning ways. And indeed, the mindset of we need to get back was what they had, and pushed through to see that this went on so well. They had to advance. Now, as I talk, Arua Airfield had to win their game against Arua City by 2 goals to nil. And if you look at what exactly is happening, Paida United also had a game against, that is Nile Hippos. Now, for Paida United, ever since I told you that the Paida United remained in the team, you would see that they have done everything possible. Ever since Paida Black Angels left the regional league to the big league, it has given, of course, hopes for, that is the Paida United team, to see that they can also still do something to participate wherever it is needed. So it has been so good that this team has also pushed well. And if you look at how they performed, they got their win against Nile Hippos, who have been so dominant in the winning into the regional leagues. Of course, they have tried seeing that things need to go here to there, but all in all, what exactly have they pushed? What exactly have they gotten chances to? So it's one of the biggest things that we are looking into. But a total game of around 4 games still keeps them in a very, very well position. Talk about Paida United and, of course, the Nile Hippos in there. Which means if they are to participate and do a lot of things, you really need to keep in and move on with the consistency. So the consistency level is one big thing that is needed for these teams to see how they, of course, going to achieve whatever comes through. They will see whatever is big on their side to see that really things move well. Now, at the same time, we did see Alpha Rising Star that has been flying. I told you they are still unbeaten, by the way. Were held by Kuluva Rainbow. Kuluva has been a very good side. They don't want to miss any chance to see that they maybe get off and that, but they have always been so dominant in a way that they want to keep the level of consistency in their way. So they also tried so much to see that it was a 0-0 between Alpha Rising Stars and the team of Kuluva Rainbow that went on right at Panduru Stadium in Leah City. Of course, Leah is where, of course, this team is, Alpha Rising. And I don't know how far with the process of trying to change the name, because Federation rule says only a season makes you change a name. But have they fulfilled whatever they needed to fulfill? Maybe. Haven't they fulfilled? That's also another question that probably you could be asking yourself, Antu. Another team that tried, of course, pushing so well is Okokoro United, that also got in a very crucial win against Nyangilia. Nyangilia has been a side that has also been terrorizing very many. Of course, you did see their last game with Odramachak, which ended into a 3-3 draw after, of course, a very good move in there. So Adiga Morris is the coach, saying that things need to work rightly for these teams. But all in all, he couldn't pull up a point at, that is Okokoro's home in Maracha. So Okokoro won the game by 2 goals to nil, which of course gives them to push forward in a position that you could be expecting. You couldn't expect for a new entrant in the league to probably push in there. It's a very, very challenging moment in there. So Total also had a game against Koboko Rising. Total was home, but Koboko Rising still keep their heads up and won this game by 1 goal to nil. That was a slim win, but still it is a win. So they had to beat Total at their own home. What is not happening at Total is one thing, though they have not done so much well. They have not done so much bad, but you would be expecting a lot, because this is one regional league team that is complete. Your players are paid, players have accommodations at the camp and probably doing a lot of things. The pitch is okay, and it's a team that is doing well. So what do we say? I think there are a lot of things that need to get in there. We also did see Ottoman, which currently is called Yumbe Hotspurs. Of course, this team against Odramachako was 3-1. Odramachako winning the game. Ottoman was home, but still Odramachako managed to pull 3 back. For that is the team after winning in there. So Saturday was fully packed with these actions, and indeed it is a slim move that you could see even some teams change positions because of whatever they are doing in here. Whereas on that is Sunday, we also did see another game. Pakwach Youngsters had a game with Nebi Central. That game I talked about, saying that unless Pakwach changes their attitude over whatever I'd said, I remember telling when Muzamil was trying to say one or two things through inboxes that maybe they are not, but he did tell me, confirm to me, that yeah, the team mindset is changed and they are going to handle this game. Indeed, they were at home. They were held by, that is Nebi Central 1-1. That shows that the team really knew what they want, and they are trying to push further to see that it works out. So I think Muzamil, that's a good move now that the boys are getting back, because you did say the really mindset is changed and everything is okay. So that's why I told you that the biggest game here would be a draw. If only this team changes its mind, or the players settle and know that this is it, and then get back to training. So indeed, I think the piece of advice worked, and you did see the team probably getting in there. And then on Sunday yesterday, there was still another game where Parombo Missions I did beat team of Visoni FC by 7-1. This is a question to the Rua District FA, how of course preparations of teams, because in Vura you could say these are the only teams that you could pick and make sure that things work out. And then of course there would Kuluva, but yeah, you would still see very many talent in Vura that you could get players and see that they feature in for you to progress. So with all that he is not working out, what exactly should Ovisoni do? Because I see where they are is not very, very well for a team like Ovisoni to push in there. So a lot of things that you could be looking into. Whereas Androvo lost also to Araka Football Club by 1-0. And then you did see Adjuman Town Council beating team, of course, Barakala City by 4-2. Adjumani still keeping their heads up and moving on well with whatever that has come through in there. So that means you have no excuse of maybe this and that, but they're doing very, very well. So congratulations to the teams that have won, and hard luck to those teams that haven't won, probably who are trying to see that they get up to where they are supposed to be. Now, when we leave that there, you would see that the regional league, in fact, has a lot of expectations from different personnels. But how are they also standing? Because in the Nile zone, I can confirm to you that it is the team of Juman Town Council right now leading the table after 4 games. They have 10 points in their game. And then you have Okokoro United that has also played 4 games, but having 9 points to their name is not a bad one for a starter like this. Koboko Rising has also proven themselves to see that they really needed to get to where they really need to be, and they are right now at number 3 with 9 points after winning 3 games, losing 1. So that means if they had not lost that, there would be 12 points, which of course is still a big challenge. And then Odramachako lies at number 4 with 2 games won, and then 1 draw and 1 loss. That is 7 points. You have Araka at number 5 with 4 games played, 2 games won, and then you have 1 draw, 1 loss for them, 7 points. But Odramachako wins them in a goal difference of course 1, because they are positive 2, and then Araka is positive 1. Nyangelia Super Eagles is at number 6 with 7 points after winning, of course, 2 games and drawing 1, losing 1. Total is right there at number 7 with 6 points. They have won so far 2. They have not drawn any game but lost 2, so it's a very bad one. As Tipsa Football Club, Tipsa has, of course, 4 points after winning 1, drawing 1, and then, of course, 2 losses to their name. You have the team of, that is Barakala City at number 9, and played 4 games, but they have 4 points. That means they have won once, drawn once, and the rest are losses. Kochi Urban has just won 1 game, the rest are losses. That means they have 3 points at number 10, and number 11 is Team Yumbe Heroes, Yumbe Hotspurs, with 3 points after getting 1 win, and they have lost also the previous 3 games in there. Androvu lies rock bottom after them not picking any point yet, but they have conceded so far 7 goals to their name. So it's so bad in that way that teams are trying so much to see that, yeah, they need to create the gap in there. At the same time, in Nyagak zone, there are also teams that played, and I can tell you that Alf Rising Stars is still leading the table, although they lost the game, they played a draw. They have 10 points to their name. Nebi Central is number 2nd with 7 points after 4 games. Then Paida United is number 3 with 7 points. You have, of course, Kuluva Rainbow at number 4 with 7 points. Then you have the team of Nile Hippos with 7 points and being won at the goal differences. Whereas Parombo, that beat yesterday 7 goals to 1, has 6 points at number 6. Padea Rising has 6 points at number 7. Arua Airfield is off the relegation zone, and they are 6 points at number 8. And then Pakwach Youngsters at number 9 with, of course, 5 points. A bad start for them this season. Remember, last season they were competitors in their way through. So this season they are not the Pakwach that you could be expecting, but I know they will change and see that things move well. So far 4 games, they have won once, they have drawn twice, and lost once. 5 points. And then you have Okolo Central that has won once, lost 3, and they have 3 points. Arua City, 4 games played, no win yet. They have drawn twice, they have lost twice. So it's that's how the team is. And Ovisone at the rock bottom with 4 points. 4 games played, 1 point. They have drawn once, and then they have lost 3 over the games right there. So this shows you how stiff and tight the West Nile Regional League is and how teams are doing. We shall be waiting to see at last what comes from the other parts of, that is the games that will be coming right through. Okay, when we move away from there, let's cross to the FUFA Big League, where, of course, games were played also in the due course of, that is the week, with tough, interesting games, I should say, because there's also 1 game by the on card today, where Paida, I think, will be also tussling it out. But all in all, let's start here, where, of course, things will be coming. Yesterday, you did see, of course, Calvary play against Busoga, a game that ended 3 goals to 1. Then you did see Mida losing to Ntunga Saze by 2 goals to 0. Whereas Buhimba Saints lost to Gaddafi by 2 goals to 0. And you have the team of Chigezi beating Team Kataka by 1 goal to 0. Then Arua Hill traveled from Gulu to Duparaka's home ground at Greenlight. They lost the game by 1 goal to 0. Yeah, those are some of the big games that were played yesterday and in the FUFA Big League. So we're expecting a lot that is coming. Of course, very many people looked into whatever game is coming through, because there's still a lot of chances to create. There's still a lot of games that are coming in there. We just like 8 games in the game. Others are still 5. Others are still trying so much to see how this works out. So it is going to be a very big one as that works out. But today, Boma is going to be playing with the team Paida Black Angels, a game that will be at 4 p.m. at Barrow Koro Stadium. A tough game it should be. Boma is lying at number 2nd because Calvary, after winning yesterday, went on top of the table, and then Boma is, of course, immediately after them to see that this works out. So they will be tussling it out with, that is Paida Black Angels. Now, that means the team of Paida has to do a lot. They have not been losing there. I remember the last game was a penalty that was given also to them in 9 minutes by Opakrio, who converted it in to see that they sealed in that win in the previous game. So it gives them a very big advantage to see that they get ready for this game. So they are playing against a team that has won so far 4 games out of the remaining one. They have 14 points. It's just that Calvary wins them in a goal difference. Boma this time is a good team that has tried so much to see that they prove to the world that this is what we have to do. And here you have also Blacks Power that is also pushing so much. Blacks Power has 13 points and they are number 3 at the post. And then at the log, number 4 is Onduparaka with the 12 points. And then number 5 is Gaddafi with 11 points. Whereas number 6 is Chigezi Homeboys with 10 points. Then you have Pai the Black Angels at number 7 with 9 points. And you also do have Chinda Boys with 9 points. And then you have number 9 Buhimba Saints with 8 points. As Ntunga Saze has, of course, 8. Ntunga Saze has 8 points. And number 10 Kataka is at number 11 with 7 points. Karo Karunji is at number 12 with 6 points. Busoga United is at number 13 with 4 points. Whereas Rua Hill at number 14 with 4 points. And you have the team of Maida with 2 points. That means Maida, Rua Hill, Busoga, and Karo Karunji are the teams that are still battling to go off from the red zone. And that is one big thing that you could be talking about on how this side is pushing. 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 win, 1 draw, 5 losses is a very big one for that is the Rua City team in there, who are of course trying so much, because their next game I think should be to Pai the Black Angels. Yes, that's a game and that they will be having. Pai, I think we'll have to go and have this. So it's going to be a tough encounter in there. Let me give you fixtures that are coming next in the FUFA Big League. Rua Hill will be welcoming Pai the Black Angels. That's on 24th. That means these remaining days you're going to be having at least a little break. And then you have Blacks Power taking on Calvary. That game is going to be at, of course, Lira's Kiva Stadium. Busoga will be welcoming Buhimba. That is another game to watch for. And then Gaddafi takes on Maida, as Karo Karunji will be welcoming Chigezi Homeboys. And then you have the team that Kataka that will be taking on Chinda Boys. Yeah, those are some of the games that will be coming on that day. So it's so interesting that you will be having games on this coming weekend, because they have a lot to say and to signal probably ahead of this. So what does it mean? That there are still more interesting games that you could still pay attention to, because they have a lot of interests keep coming. And I can tell you the Odilo Cup is also ongoing, by the way. Teams have reached into the quarterfinals for the boys category. But for the ladies, we did see it end as soon as possible. Before I get to what Uganda has done in what is called the Africa Cup of Nations that I talked about, on Africa Cup of Nations, that after the team qualified, but I want to talk about it later on how Uganda has been doing in the ways in there. But before we get there, I want to say that Uganda's Jacob Kiplimo ran an incredible race recently and went on to 40 to 42 minutes, 40 minutes to 42 seconds to see that it sets a new world record over, that is the 15 kilometers at the NN, of course, NN Zenedlupi, in that is, of course, Nijengem. It was yesterday that he had to make all these runs and impressed the team. Now, the 2 times world cross-country record champion took 23 seconds only off his own course record to win over, that is the 15 race that has also been put in there now. Of course, this makes a very good mark, 40 to 42 minutes. I think it's, seconds. That is so fast, and is now the fastest time ever record in, that is the standalone 15 kilometers. So let's wait and see this race how it marks, but it is still going to be a very big one. Now, Kiplimo, remember he won this here in this same place that he won, but it was 41 to 5 last year. He had put a lot of performance that has proved to be one big one. In the women's race, Ethiopia's Milzan was the hero. Of course, Salem made a strong record racing debut to take that is the title in 46 minutes and 51 seconds that went in there. The 2021 World Under 25,000 meters champion still proved something and held back slightly during, of course, the early stages to see that she really allowed the lady by the names of Diane van L.S. of that is Netherlands to, of course, carve out a 9-second lead by 2 kilometers that went in there. So that is how things are moving in the world of races. This is how some of the races came in the leading results. The top 5 per gender here. Jacob Kiplimo is ahead. Mike Foben from Netherlands also did well at 43 minutes to 19. Then you have Mark Scott, who of course is a Great Britain from Great Britain, 43 to 22 seconds. And then of course you have Raul Akui from Japan, who also had 43 to 23 seconds. Matthew Kiplimo of Kenya also had a very good race, but finished 5th. Whereas in the ladies category, you did see Mizan Alem of Ethiopia, and then Diane van Els of Netherlands, and not forgetting, of course, Enyesh Mengi of Ethiopia that also tried level best to see 4.9 with 4.921 seconds. And then you have Fienlula Moka of Ireland, and then Haruka Ogawa of Japan also tried so much to see that pushed in there. So those are some of the ladies who did part or who took part in yesterday's encounter throughout in there. Now, of course, at the same time, the NCBA Junior League Golf is set to kick off. That is the golf, and we are going to be waiting to see what exactly comes in there. But at the same time, the cricket cranes also defeated Bahrain in that moment to see that they finished unbeaten in the Challenge League tournament that was organized in there. So Uganda cricket team has been so dominant in whatever they are doing as they defeated Bahrain at that is the side, the lakeside oval in Entebbe by that is 166 runs to finish their first round. Probably to see that the challenge was a very big one in that League B tournament that saw them go unbeaten. Now Hong Kong, China was the only side that of course took a point, I should say, away from the host that made them to push in through there. So we are coming back to see how Uganda got themselves in there and who are some of the team members that also did it some time back. Now we will be getting to that later on, but we first take a break. When I come back, I'll be giving you what